Hey guys, so today I wanted to make a video from the car and really just talk about something that I think many people can relate to. A lot of us want different levels of success in our lives, but I've got a very strong belief that anybody can become successful at anything they want, barring, of course, things that we can't control, which obviously tries to stop us on our journey towards becoming successful. So today I want to talk about the reasons why you might not be as successful as you want to be just yet. Like, what is stopping you from getting there, at this point in your journey? For those who are new to our channel, my name's Ken of the Humble Penny and Financial Joy Academy. What we do on this channel is to give you the tips, the insights, the practical hacks to help you take control of your finances, grow your money, and ultimately design a life of financial joy. That's what we're doing here. Now, the tips I'm going to share today, I was just driving a car and I'm on my way to go and see my nephews. I've written some things down on my phone, and two things have inspired today's session. Yesterday, I went to our kids' disco party at school and I got chatting to some parents and I was really inspired. And secondly, I just met up with a mentor of mine for lunch who I see once a year, and that inspired me. So those two things really brought something to me because I've spent a lot of time with everyday but very successful people, and there's some things that really jumped out for me. I want to share them today. If you're really enjoying today's video, if you're enjoying this format in the car, let me know in the comments. Tell me that you love this format and I'll do more of it. That way it's even easier. As I'm driving, I could just pull up and just make a video, right? Keep it raw, keep it on the go. So why is it you are not as successful as you would love to be so far? Like, what on earth is going on in your life, man? Let me share some thoughts on that, right? And obviously, remember, I'm talking about things that you can control rather than things that you can't control. So the first one is this concept of time in the market versus timing the market. So we obviously know about this concept because I talk about it a lot on our channel. Mary and I talk about it a great deal when it comes to investing, and the whole idea being that, if you leave your money invested over a long enough period of time, great things happen. The stock market tends to trend upwards and you would do well overall. However, this concept can apply to so many different areas of our lives, right? I want to talk about dating, and I say this because this is a real, relatable topic, because a lot of our friends are turning 40, and it's a difficult one because some of our friends are in couple relationships, some are in married relationships, and some are single, right? Now, if you're currently single, right, I want to ask you a question, right? And the question is what kind of person do you want to date? Like, what kind of person would you, if you started dating that person, or if they became your partner, you would feel like, wow, this is I feel like I've really progressed here. Like, things are amazing, right? I bet you probably have a picture in your mind. If you're a woman, you might have this buff guy in your mind, or this smart guy, or this successful guy who's wealthy, or whatever. If you're a woman, you may want the same thing. So you might be physical attraction, it might be intellectual attraction, it could be anything, right? Whatever it is. Now, the one thing I've learned personally on my journey is that this time in the market thing really matters, right? It's about getting in there early. I'll use a real life example. My wife, Mary, right? Mary and I, this year makes it 13 years we're married, and we've known each other, been together for about, I think it's 15 years now, something like that. We just turned 40, right? And I say this because, when I met Mary, Mary was beautiful to me. She was absolutely, I could see, as soon as I saw her, it's that's my future wife. I could see it right there. But she was just starting out in many ways, and so was I was just starting out, but we could see the potential in each other. So we went in, right? So I went in. So today when people see my wife, they're I get these messages going, wow, Ken, your wife is so beautiful. She looks amazing. She's smart. And the thing is, I'm looking at them yeah, I completely agree. But I've had time in the market. I've known her and I've seen that growth happen. I've seen that beauty. I've seen that blossom. I've seen all those things happen over time. In the same way, she's seen a big change in my personal life. So this idea is whether it's that you're thinking about your business or your side hustle or your work or your career or whatever, this idea of not looking for that perfection, that that perfect person, that perfect moment, that perfect investment, that perfect business. Those ideas are redundant. You want time in the market rather than time in the market to find that perfect thing. That's the first thing I want to share. The second thing is you move in mediocre circles, right? So I want to talk about this because, and take no offense, by the way, I just want to keep this video really real, right? If you are moving in inspiring circles, you'll be successful. It's literally that simple. So I'll give you an example, right? So it was my children's disco party yesterday. Mary did the pick up from school. Disco party was from like 6:30. She was like, oh, babe, you should take them to school and go and do the disco thing. And immediately I was thinking to myself, do you know what? I was kind of hesitant. Then I was like, do you know what? I'll do it. But the reason I wanted to do it was it gave me an opportunity to hang around with parents. Now, the kids are having their fun. They've got £10 each to buy whatever they want at this disco party, and that's great. They're doing their thing. They're dancing with their friends. And I rock in there, and I'm like, spot two parents who are pretty interesting individuals, right? So one of them's a white male, professional, very successful in various regards. Another's an Asian guy, super successful, but in a very different way. I'll give you an example, right? Got chatting to him. This is someone who I see at school all the time. And he said something that was really interesting. He just said it in passing. He just said like, oh yeah, we just bought this property over here, and we just bought this other property over here, and we just bought this property over here. We're talking about like business and like projects we were working on. He takes his phone out. He shows us, me and this other guy, he shows us, here's the plan from the architect. So we bought this one here. I spotted it. I went on Google Earth. I looked it up. Here's what the garden looks like. The property is here, but I'm going to build 2 bungalows at the back, and then I'm going to sell the bungalows. I'm thinking, whoa, just think about that for a moment. Imagine being around people who make moves like that. This particular individual, I love so much because like what he does is, there's no moment I know him that he's not buying and selling houses. So he usually builds houses from scratch, keeps one and sells one. And even that simple idea of buying a land in somewhere in Kent, for example, getting planning permission, building 2 more properties on it, selling the other 2, making a crazy amount of profit. Just that idea alone. Right as I was there, I was thinking to myself, I wish people had the privilege to be in spaces like this where they could speak to people who are doing very daring things. Then he went on and told me some other really, really insane things. Like he made over 100 grand from selling cars, just from selling one car. He'd buy cars, he'd sell, and I think he made that money on selling. I think it was a Ferrari he sold. He'd buy it and sell. And it's telling me how this Ferrari, a few years ago when it came out, a number of years ago, it was about 300k. But he'd sold it, now, if you go and look for that car, it's about £4 million. Like really wealthy people, that's how they kind of play. But the point is like he is an everyday person, but he's getting involved in a way by taking risks and doing some daring things. And he also does this thing where he buys and sells watches and makes money on it. And I was thinking to myself, wow, do you know, just for me personally, yeah, like I consider myself to be a fairly sophisticated individual. I know quite a lot of things. And I've done quite a lot of things. I've got a lot of experience in different spaces, but I love being in spaces where I just listen to people. I was just silent, listening, soaking it in. And I loved every moment. And then I had to share my own views, but I was there as a student. So my point here is you need to move in circles, move in new circles, question the circles you're in, because I bet you the circles you're in are holding you back in a major way. If your people around you aren't inspiring enough, if they're not daring enough, they're not making moves, forget it. You're most unlikely going to achieve what you're trying to achieve in your life. Most unlikely, because you need people to get places. That's the second one. The third one I wanted to say is working hard. Now, you know, there's a lot I hear about it on the internet where people are like, yeah, you need to, you know, there's this like anti-work hard like message, right? And I think I listen to that, I'm like, nah, these people are deluded, man. Like, yes, you need to work smarter, and I talk about that. It's very, very important. There's an approach to working smart, but there is an absolute need for you to work hard in order to get to where you want to get to successfully. to get to your desired level of success. No matter what that desired level of success is, whether it's that you want to own properties, you want to own a massive, like £1 million, stock portfolio, or you want to start a family, or you want to, travel, or you want to develop in your career, or you want to, improve your well-being and just live that soft life. Even if you wanted to do that, you still need to work hard. You need money, because money is needed for things to happen. You want to drive a car, you need money. You want to go to the shops, you need money. You go on holiday, you need money. You need to work hard. And I tell you guys, I give an example, right? People are like, oh, I was getting messages the other day. People saying like, wow, Ken, like you and Mary, you were on this morning. It was amazing. It was so amazing seeing you guys. We were so proud of you. And we loved all those things. But then some other people were like, wow, how are you doing it? And I'm like, it's a simple answer to you. We work hard. It's literally that simple. You're looking at me at a point in the journey where I've put in 7 years of work. Back to back, boom, 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 boom. Every day I'm putting in the work, Mary and I, day after day. And this is all you're seeing is even what you're seeing publicly. Imagine all the work that goes on behind the scenes. To get the Humble Penny, to get Financial Joy Academy, people are like, oh, you've written a book, you've done this, you've done that. Like, that's taking work, man. Like, if I start to tell you how many hours have gone in for that book to be created, you would be floored. I'm saying it because I want to keep it real. Because you cannot get away from hard work if you want to be successful. Whether it's that you want to become fit, whether it's that you want to improve your diet or whatever, everything requires an absolute work ethic. Absolute work ethic. I had a breakfast with my mom. I took my mom out for breakfast yesterday, Friday. And she was saying the same thing. She was like, I'm so proud of you, son. I'm so proud of you. You've got a great work ethic. She was giving me all these praise. So, wow. I was so thankful to my mom because I get it from my parents. I've watched my parents. Maybe it's just that immigrant mentality, a positive immigrant mentality of just wanting to make it. And this is tied to another point I want to make, which is don't get complacent. Because sometimes when you experience a bit of success, it's easy to just like go, yeah, things are all right. Like I'm able to pay my bills. Yeah, things are okay, But I tell you, man, if you get complacent, you will get snuck up on. Like things will go wrong so quickly and you will struggle to navigate change. So it's always very important not to get complacent. Even when things are going really successfully for you, be on a watch out, be on a lookout, expect things to happen. Like I met my mentor, Abu, one of my mentors, really, really admire him so much. He's about 10 years older. We met up, went for lunch today. And he was just saying to me how like one of his rare qualities amongst his siblings is that he's like that black sheep. He always looks ahead. He's always like anticipating stuff. And this is the thing about complacency. Like when you're complacent, you're not anticipating what could go wrong. You're not thinking, what if the economy went this way? Or what if like my health went south and like I became ill? Or what if like I get, laid off from that job? What if I'm unable to earn as much money as I can? And this is where like the skill of being able to invest money, being able to seek that ROI, being able to, take risk and so on, really come into the picture. Because with those skills, you're always thinking of various scenarios. That you're always thinking, well, if that happened, I will do this. If this happened, I will do that. And that removing that complacency keeps you ever evolving, keeps you ever innovating, and keeps you moving forward all the time. This topic, there's so much I could talk about on this topic. Now, I want to wrap up. I mean, there's a lot I could talk about, but the final point I want to make is that one of the reasons why, and this is tied to the whole time in the market point here, one of the reasons why you're probably not as successful as you want to be is because you give up too quick, you give up too easily on stuff. Things take time to happen. This is the last point I wanted to end on. And it's easy to look at people and compare yourself to them and think, well, why is it happening so quickly for that person and it's not happening so quickly for me? The one thing I want to leave you with is that everything in life happens in its time. Whether it's you're trying to get on that property ladder, it doesn't happen at the same time for everybody. Whether it's you want to become financially free, it doesn't happen at the same time for everybody. Or whether it's you want to pay off your mortgage, it doesn't happen at the same time for everybody. Yeah. So when you take all these points I've talked about today, the need to work hard, the need not to get complacent, the need to take risks, the need to move in new circles, the need to listen to inspiring people, the need to have time in the market and not just time the market. When you combine all these various areas, I can tell you right now that there is no amount of success or no level of success that you wouldn't achieve if you really, really put the work in and put your mind into it. Yeah. And let me just wrap up by saying there's also no success without people, because I know so many people. Actually, I'm going to wrap up on this point. I know so many people who are not successful simply because, number one, they don't take themselves out of their little environment and put themselves in places where they're meeting new people. But better than that, they're actually not nice people. They're actually not nice people. You gotta be nice. You gotta be a nice person, man. I hear people. There's also this anti, like, don't be a nice guy and da 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 da. What I mean by that is, like, be a decent person. Like, if you say to someone you're gonna do something, do it. If you say to someone I'm gonna show up at this time, try your best to show up. Even if you don't show up at that time, message them to let them know and communicate. If you say you're gonna do something up to this level, do it up to that level or exceed it. Yeah, be honest, be a person of integrity, be a person that is true and it's not just like, trying to promote a fake aspect to particular kind of lifestyle that they want. Just be a real person. I think these elements, for me personally, when I look at my life, have really helped me on a massive level. Just being true, just being relatable, being telling it as it is, checking in on people. This is the other thing, message people, check in on them. All these elements mean that, like, when people think about stuff, when they think about, we need a personal finance expert, we need somebody to talk about money, investing, business, like entrepreneurship or family life or whatever, they come straight to Mary and I. Like, we don't even put out any adverts, but we get those floods of messages saying, come and speak here, come and do this workshop here, come and do this event here, come and be on this panel. And they pay us properly to be at those spaces. I think a lot of those successes have come because of a combination of the various things that I've shared with you on today's video. But I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. This is like I said, an unedited video that I thought I'd just do in the car. I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Like, what aspect of today's video really, really, like, hit you right here? Hit you in the heart, really spoke to you? What aspect of it really spoke to you? Which part of those things I talked about do you feel like, you know what, Ken, I kind of feel like I could be better at this thing you talked about? What is it for you that you feel you could be better at on that journey of creating your level of success in your own life, whatever you define success at? Let me know in the comments. Oh, and by the way, quick bonus point, I want to wrap up by talking about the importance of taking a planner, a physical planner around with you. One of the reasons why I think a lot of people are not quite there in their level of success is because they don't write anything down. Like, I carry a planner, and like, I'm going to see my nephews, but I've got my planner with me. I'm going to review my vision. I'm going to review what success means to me. I'm going to look at my goals for these 12 weeks. I'm looking at that stuff all the time. Yeah. For you probably have it all in here. That's a problem. You need to dump all that stuff somewhere onto a physical planner or journal or whatever, something you can track and something you can look at to remind yourself of what your why is. Why are you even, like, what are you waking up to? What's the point of that job you go into? What's the point of that side hustle you're trying to, or you're dreaming to start? Like, why does it all exist? What's it all for? If you haven't got it written down somewhere, you're wasting your time. But if you have it written down somewhere, you are guaranteeing success. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you really did, please see if I can point to the button. Right there. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notifications bell, as they say, as the YouTubers say. Show some love to our channel. Like, it really means a lot that you show up here and you listen to what we have to say. It really, really matters to us. So please support us by subscribing and like the video whilst you're there. But other than that, I want to thank you. And As we say by ending our videos, as always, in all things, be thankful and seek joy. All right, take care. Much love. Bye.